Nigga, what? Yes.
Hello. Happy Wednesday.
Good day. Happy Wednesday to my people. Baldhead'S podcast here. We are live. I got a couple of guests coming through, but right now, while she's in our face, chilling in her own abode, my girl Tree, certified bartender, accept private bookings. She also has, damn it, she's gone. What the hell happened? She'll be back. She's been having an iffy. She's been having an iffy. There she go. A connection. But she has.
I think it's my connection.
She's a certified bartender, except private bookings. She has this crazy infused cocktails that you need to drink that I had the honor of drinking Saturday night. Yeah. I was so down. First off, don't ever drink an infused drink if you thirsty. Wrong shit to do. Yeah, I threw that shit back. A little while later, all I heard was slipping in the darkness. But it was good. It was good. It was a smooth experience. Had me tripping. Said afternoon to a couple of my people on here. What is cracking? Good afternoon. Can you see the phone? Yeah. Darcel, what's happening, Cavalier? What's going on, baby girl? Jason, John, good, y'all. What's happening, man? Let me tell you something. A lot going on all over the world. It ain't just Chicago. It ain't just a pandemic. There are about 90 different things happening to affect everybody right now, whether it be financially, whether it be mentally, whether it be whatever the fuck. I want to ask you, Trace, because I got you the first guest on the show. What are your feelings about the two sheriffs that were shot in Compton, two police officers, law enforcement people?
So I haven't really read up on exactly what happened. I saw a little snippet of the video on the news or whatever. And my whole take on it was whoever that person was who did that, they sending out a message to me because there was no altercation. There was nothing that took place prior to that, what we saw in the video. He just point blank walked up to those people and just shot them up like that. So was that, a sign to be made, or is he trying to, start something with that? I don't know.
I don't think it was.
Does it have something to do with the whole police killing innocent people or however,
I think it do. I think it got a lot to do with that. I mean, that's the only reason I can see. You never really too much had no situation like that go on. In our time, I can remember somebody just running dead up on a police car, shooting in there. I mean, honestly, years back, it actually did. Matter of fact, it did happen in New York some years back. But this right here was crazy. And I got my theories about the police. I don't really like a lot of police situations that's been getting aired out now. But I don't wish death on nobody. I don't wish death on them. I sure the hell don't wish death on us. But as a person coming from the streets, being a father, being whatever, I can feel what they're saying. I got my man, he's about to jump in right now. His brother, he's going to tell you about his business ventures he's got going on. Please give it up for Robert. Y'all give it up for my man, Robert. BB in the building. Robert,
how y'all doing this afternoon?
I'm hanging in there. This is Catrice Nicole. She's a bartender. She's a drink infuser. She got some tea with some weed in it.
Right.
I got the juice.
Okay.
But I was trying to talk about, Robert. I was asking the first thing. I know you might have some topics that you got, but I want to get this topic out the way real quick. What do you feel about The police that got shot up there out there in Compton, how they got shot up.
But the first time I saw the video, it's just violence that's been going on throughout the country as well. And so I'm like, you know, it's a sad situation that happened, but in some cases you have to look at it like, what do you expect things to happen if you keep pushing people against the wall and busting them upside the head? Some bad things are going to happen behind that. We don't want those things to happen, but they do. You know, sometimes you can look at it in the Malcolm X theory is that, you know, by any means necessary, and then you can do the nonviolence thing as well. So it's just a bad situation when I first saw it, but I had to reflect overall regarding what all this stemmed from.
What you think it stemmed from, Tree? No.
What exactly what he said? What's going on in the world? Like right now, people just seem so hopeless, and everybody is hurt in some form. Like this whole pandemic thing, this whole violence on top of violence, on top of poverty, on top of struggle, on top of all that together, it's challenging. It's messing up a lot of people's mental.
Right. My girl Darcette said drop a link for the lemonade or the tea. You got a link yet? Or let her know where your page is. Actually, that's what I'm gonna start off. Trees, let them know where they can find you and how they can get your stuff in order. Get your infused drinks.
I didn't hear you. Say it again.
I said let the people know how they can get your drinks and what's the name of it.
So right now, it's called Infused. I do alcoholic cocktails along with the THC infused drinks. I'm also marketing towards, I know a lot of people are struggling with cancer and lupus and diabetes, that kind of thing. So I'm also doing sugar-free and a more natural juice mix so that they can indulge also on a more healthy side. Right now, I haven't started my page yet, but yeah, I'm gonna start that page up, and then at the end of the podcast, Baldhead can tell you all how to get in contact with me.
All right. I would like you to explain to them, Robert, what you got going on, man. If you can, Robert, turn your camera to the side. You know, the long way. They turn camera like this. That'll make everything. Should make everything better. Oh, well, it ain't doing shit, so it's my fault.
Yeah, for some reason, it's flipping upside down.
Yeah. Well, that's all good. Well, let them know where they can find you. Let them know what your business you got going on, man.
Well, what I have is a non-for-profit organization. It's called A Journey to Manhood, and it's primarily a mentoring organization that I've started in April of 2019. But I have been doing this type of work for the last 14 years in the Inglewood community, which is where I grew up at on 57th and Aberdeen. So when I came back to Chicago after being in the military and in school, came back to the old neighborhood. A lot of stuff wasn't going on like it was when I was there. So I implemented and started doing basketball tournaments. And then I linked up with a friend of mine, a childhood friend of mine that had a non-for-profit organization. We started giving away backpacks, school supplies, along with the basketball tournament. And then it kind of evolved, and I just took it over from there. And now I just do programs not only in Inglewood, but also in the North Lawndale community and 4 other sites in Inglewood where I do back-to-school events, toy drives, sock drives, mentoring with some of the kids, also do job placement. And then I also have last year was fortunate enough to get a contract with CPS to do safe passage at one of the sites on the west side. So I've been growing over the last year or so.
Man, that's great, man. I'm glad and proud of it. I was part of the movement a little bit. I had worked for Cure Violence and did my best to try to get guys that were in gangs and situations another alternative. You know what I'm saying? Giving them some type of hope, some type of way. Because a lot of dudes, don't want to fill out an application either because they don't know how to fill an application out.
Right.
Two, they don't know how to write a resume, mock up a resume. None of that. They don't have any assistance in that or addressing. So we did a lot of stuff like that, man. And it was the crazy part about it is you see a lot of dudes that you know really don't want to be in their life.
Right.
But now they stuck in it because the one where they live at, the resources that they don't have.
Exactly.
And the
resources are very minimal.
The coldest thing.
Right. The resource is the number one thing. Right now, I think Mayor Lightfoot is implementing this program called Invest Southwest here in Chicago. And, you know, it's admirable that she's doing that, and something is better than nothing, but it's minuscule to the money that they're getting ready to spend on a Lincoln Yards project, which is going to be about $1.5 billion to create another community when we already got communities that are in dire need right now, like Roseland, Inglewood, West Garfield, East Garfield, North Lawndale, Austin. Those communities need these resources more than anything, but they keep diverting these resources into the downtown area, and then also areas that's not plighted like the areas that I work in now.
Yeah, I'm from Inglewood too. I'm from off 61st and Bishop.
Okay.
55th area, 69th.
Mm-hmm.
I used to be down there, over there in your area too. The crazy part about it is, this dude asked me the other day. I was telling him because a guy got killed. One of the guys I grew up with, his family got killed on the block. Just got shot for no damn reason. He had autism. Never hurt anybody. Never. I remember when he graduated, I went and to his graduation and spoke at his graduation. It was actually, I was just actually dropping him off. His mom was like, drop him off up there. He finna miss his damn graduation. So I dropped him off, and the people know me in there. But it was like, when I got the call that he got shot, you know, you look at a lot of people and be like, man, what are you doing? What are they doing over there? But then when they shooting innocent people like that, and it adds to the fight. It's like, they don't got nothing to do. We could say that's the reason. However the case may be, it's a lot of them that don't want to do shit.
They don't.
When you give them the opportunity.
That's true. But, you know, in the grand scheme of things, all this stuff is done by design. If you take into account that when they start going after the gangs and they start putting RICO statutes on the gangs and they start locking the gang leaders up on kingpin charges, and then once they did that, you left everything. It's like cutting off the head of the snake. So then once you did that, everybody all these splinter cells started popping up. Then they tore down the project. So then that's another issue. You know, Chicago is one of the most segregated cities in America.
And so
right. And so it's like, where all these people were? Well, all these people from the Ida B. Wells, the Ickeys, the Robert Taylors, to Cabrini Green, where are they at? They scattered them out through the community. And so people like me that grew up in the neighborhood, now you got this influx of people coming in, and they trying to set up shop. And so that's where one of the things that happens, they start fighting amongst each other, and you got lawlessness right there. But then you don't invest in those communities, and then you got liquor stores and storefront churches on every corner coming from 51st Street all the way to 87th. So there's a disinvestment within the community, which causes some of the mental anguishes that goes on in the neighborhood now. And so sometimes you scratch your head like, man, how did that happen? Just like you was talking about the guy who got shot. How did he get shot? Out of all the people in the world, he got shot.
Yeah, I mean, I done seen so much death, man. So many people that personally done died. I know y'all not virgins to it. It's just, you don't even know what to say no more. I went to go see his mother, and it was like, what am I gonna tell this lady? And I'm just coming from my nephew getting buried. So I'm like, what am I gonna tell this lady? You know what I'm saying? And it's depressing. I love my city like a mug. I would do anything in the world. I dedicated 2 years to being out here doing the violence, interrupting stuff. And at first, I'm not gonna lie, I was like, what we gonna get these cats? But then I talked to a dude one day. He made a lot of sense to me. A young cat. He said, I'm willing to change. I'm willing to get out the neighborhood. I'm doing everything. He said, but I gotta make it from one point to another. Say like you give me a job. Bam, I'm working this job. I done got up to manager status. I'm almost ready to buy me a car. Buy me a car. Me and my girl living together. Everything's cool. I'm on the bus one day going to work. I see one of the dudes I used to get at it with. I ain't representing nothing no more. I didn't lay down, right. But he did not. That man finna kill me right there on that bus stop in his Jiffy Lube outfit, going to work. He said, so what I'm gonna do now? What would you tell me now? And I said something, and I knew it was gonna be more scary than him changing. I said it was a bigger change. I said, move. You got to move out of the city. Go somewhere where don't nobody know you. Take the type of job skills, do it. He said, man, that's the most scary than walking in a room full of ops, because I don't know what to do over there. And I'm like, bro, if you've made it this far in Chicago, you can make it anywhere.
Yeah.
Known fact.
You can make it anywhere.
But I think one of the alternatives to all the violence is that, we just have to reinvest in our own community. And sometimes we got to stop looking for handouts. We have to do it for ourselves. We are the number one consumers. And so that means that we have money to spend. We just not spending it on the right things. So one of the things in my organization is about financial literacy and also health and wellness. Those are two other items that we're missing the boat at in our community, especially the financial literacy part. The kids that they'll turn around and put insurance on their cell phones, but won't have insurance on their loved ones. That's a problem.
I don't care what bill is due, what ain't paid. That insurance is top priority. A lot of people are just uneducated. A lot of our people are just uneducated on how important insurance is. Like, how you going to insure your car before you insure your life? And there's so many benefits that comes with life insurance. Like, you can pay, you can use a certain amount of it for your kids' college or what have you. They have the hardship program where you fall back. It's going to cost you. You're going to get penalized, but it's just so much that you can do with it besides bury yourself and leave the rest for your family to fight over. There's so much you can do with life insurance. But people are uneducated on it, and then when you bring it up, all they think about is, you got to die. You going to die.
Right.
Yeah, but when you dead, you want your body laying around to be a burden for your family. They got this stuff.
Absolutely.
And what's so crazy, it did not used to cost a lot to cremate a person. But I think after that mess that went on in Borough Oaks in Chicago, where they wasn't burying bodies, they were just propping them up against trees, people started saying, I want to get cremated, and the price then went up.
Yeah.
So like you are one of my buddies was cracking a joke. He was like, man, this is a depressed person is on the verge of being depressed and want to kill themselves. I have a hell of a thought. He said, man, I cost a lot to live. It even costs a lot to get rid of me now.
Yeah.
He like, what the fuck? He said, I'm a burden either way. I said, motherfucker, just get a job and shut up. Just get a job.
Right.
Hustle or something. I don't care. And that's another thing about like now, people are making up jobs. People are making jobs happen that wasn't happening before.
Yep.
And my girl
and that's why we got something from the pandemic. We have people now being more self-motivated, self-creative, because, the days of working the job for 20 or 30 years and getting a pension or retirement plan, it's gone. So now it's time to be self-sufficient. When I go to the grammar school, sometimes they speak on career day. I just tell the kids, you know what? Listen to the teachers, and going to college is fine. But even to me, the college is a Ponzi scheme as well. But find your niche and immerse yourself in what you have a passion for and do that. And if you can't do that, find a trade, because there's always going to be people that need carpentry, plumbing, electricity, and you ain't got to worry about getting laid off from that.
Barbers, nurses, all that. And one thing that I do know, treats the phone acting up again. One thing I do know is this internet that opened up a range of a whole new place of income. You cannot lose. All you got to do is get on it. Find your niche. See, that's the hardest thing for some people to find. I knew it was when I found out my aunt was making money selling candy, thinking the candy store lady. Come on, man. The candy store lady make a lot of money. Do you know how many people could be down in that situation?
Absolutely.
Man,
that was my first job. My grandfather stayed on 14th and National where they got Costco's at now. And my first job, I worked in the store in the basement inside a house on the block selling candy. Selling candy. I mean, and Pack had line. It's almost like the pandemic line that we see now. We was having that for the candy.
Right. And the crazy part is, do you know the people, my auntie, when she was doing it, she was getting receipts and she was filing her taxes with it.
Wow.
She was filing her taxes, man. And it was her business.
Right.
Even she found out that was my cousin. My cousin, he had left and went to the army or whatever. He moved out the house. She made his room her office and was getting money for the square space or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Just to package the shit. I'm like,
yeah.
And she, right now to this day, that lady retired. She worked for a company. Can't remember the name of it. She worked for them for a long time and did and sold candy. Put her daughter through college. Her son went to the army. And she lived a very comfortable life. Nice car, you know. She just managed, like you say, managing the money is where it's time. We got to start with these kids. I figure as soon as a kid asks you for some money, they old enough to ask you for some money. I think you start teaching them. You start,
absolutely.
You know what I'm saying about money? Yeah, okay, you take this. Like my daughter's 10 now. I told her, you're going to start doing chores, start doing stuff. That the kitchen and that front room is yours. Now I don't know. People might be mad about the price, but I'm giving her $10 a week.
Right.
10 to giving her $10 a week.
Absolutely.
I'm putting it on a card. When time comes for things to be done, either she's going to pay for it or pay on it. You know what I'm saying? And because like earlier today, I was like, you got to watch this. She was like, but I didn't even eat nothing. That ain't got nothing to do with your job.
Do it. Yeah, that's the responsibilities.
Yeah, my publicist Sabrina, she's shouting out your call Journey to Manhood.
Yes,
so, Journey to Manhood sounds like something that's been needed or it's been being done, but you putting the market on it, and that's good.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of other community-based organizations that's basically doing some of the stuff that I'm doing and doing it in a more of a grander scheme of things. Right now, the COVID-19 kind of put a little dampen on some of the stuff that I typically would do. But what I did this summer is that the Chicago Park District ended up having a summer day camp. And so they had these different restrictions on the kids. They cut the water fountains off inside the building and out, and they had to bring water to the camp. So what I did was I targeted places in Inglewood and went by and dropped off Gatorade and fruit snacks and stuff like that to the kids.
Right.
So they can have, because the kids ain't gonna just drink water. Yeah, so I did that, in lieu of doing little pop-ups, in lieu of the after-school program, because I knew at the after-school giveaway, because I knew they weren't going back to school in the fall, and me giving away backpacks and school supply, there was other entities that was going to take up that role, so I just took up the summer role.
Well, that's cool. You got to keep it in their head and keep it in their mind, because the way things are happening, man, everything is slipping. Classroom ain't even the classroom no more. It's an office space. These kids got at home, like my daughter, she sits right where I'm at now, does her homework, does her stuff in school. And the worst part to me about it is the interaction with people right then and there, it's like they would do with kids. But then also the logging on and logging off in these different classes in these rooms. This shit is crazy.
Yeah.
I'm like, I hope they're giving these kids an understanding that they have to do this, but at the same time, I'm telling my daughter, there's other things you have to do besides being on it. You got to read. If you can read and write and comprehend, you can damn near teach yourself anything.
That's it. You'll be self-taught. Yeah. It goes back to homeschooling. You know, people have been doing homeschooling for years. And so now it forces parents to be more active in their child's, you know, learning and education.
And one thing, I know I used to hear a lot of parents tell their kids, what the hell is they teach you in that school? You see it, you right here with me now. Now you right here with me. You need to learn some of this shit too.
There was a video floating around on Facebook where this lady called the teacher and said, "Oh, Miss Jones, yeah, this is little Ronnie's mom." He's like, "Yeah, I just want to apologize to you because when I used to come up there and clown because I thought y'all was picking on my son, you wasn't lying."
Right.
He wasn't lying.
Now you know that motherfucker ain't lying on you. Not my baby. Not in a million years. Not my baby. Yeah, your baby. Your goddamn baby.
So about, do you know when y'all gonna have the schools back open again so I can send them back to school?
Now you want to send them back to school.
Exactly.
That's the saddest part. Take a shower. Okay. The saddest part of everything now is that the parents finally see the teachers is like, yeah, no. And I ain't worried about you telling your mama nothing no more. Cause now when school get back to regular, all your mama go, nigga, she ain't lying.
Yeah.
You did that shit in this house for 5 months, she ain't lying.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. But you know, I feel now more for the teachers because, you know, one, can you imagine that you in a classroom with 20 or 30 kids and half of those kids may have IEPs and that they have difficulty learning and stuff like that, comprehending, and you trying to manage all these different personalities. It's crazy.
Man, I pray for them now. Teachers can now, after all of this is over, go on strike and get the support of the parents.
Right. Well, they really don't need to go on strike. They just need to exercise their voting strength. You know, we don't really exercise our voting strength because we put these people in place and assume that they're going to do what's right. And in actuality, they're doing what's right for them or the select few people that then line their pockets, so to speak. And so if we take back the power that was given to us to vote and make sure that these people are being held accountable for our tax dollars, then you will need to have a strike. We'll make sure that the funds that's supposed to be allocated for certain schools will be allocated for those schools.
Man, if I'm not mistaken, back in the day, when they was putting the lottery and all of that in, wasn't the lottery supposed to be for the damn school?
Yes, but that's to my point. We didn't know that the lottery only would pay a certain percentage. We just thought that, the lottery paid it, but I think it's, if I'm not mistaken, it's anywhere between 50 cents to $1 that they give to the schools.
Man.
So people don't even know what percentage of the lottery is supposed to be allocated to the schools.
Well, yeah, to me, I'm like, that lottery ain't getting nobody rich. That's even going to them schools that whatever the dollar or the penny is supposed to be. It's a bunch of crap. But we the main ones out there buying it every year.
Absolutely.
Probably winning a pick 3-4 times a year, and everybody around and said, "Man, you real lucky. You be renting on a lot." Nigga, ain't won shit.
Nothing.
Old ass couple that's about to die. They both 87 and 89 and one.
Right.
In Upper Illinois.
Mm-hmm.
Man, it's crazy. What up to my boy Willie Boozer? Marilino Manson said, "We are things of shapes to come. Your freedom's not free. The depression is great. Different age. And what the fuck? Okay, all right, brother, sister. So appreciate that. Yeah, you're right. They right though. Everybody's opinion matters on my show.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I tell the kids that all the time. We can agree to disagree, but we value your opinion because it's yours.
See, but let me ask you something. We didn't have no damn opinion.
Well, we couldn't. Right.
That's why I think one of the ways we went wrong is giving these damn kids opinions. Now, I had a person that was older than me that was around when I was raised. They was raised different from me than I was raised. They really used to get the switch. thing of it is they was like when some people grew up hating and despising their parents for them ass whoopings. But those were the people that never did come to grips with what they was doing.
Absolutely.
You got a situation where you got a household where kids just getting beaten, abused. Then you got a household where you have a person that's running the house sternly and will punish you.
Right.
Sometimes they punish you mentally and they can't take it. Physically, they couldn't take it.
Exactly.
But I don't condone with nobody just beating on no kid because their issues is messed up. I'm thinking if a kid should get a whooping, a kid should get a whooping or chastised because of something that they done that could be detrimental to hurting them in the future if they stay on that.
Absolutely.
A lot of these parents don't want to whoop their kids. They'd rather be their kids' friends because they felt their parents should have been their friends. I'm not your motherfucking friend. Let me tell you what my mama told me. My mama told me, I ain't your friend till you move the fuck out of here, get out, and maintain being out. She said, you want me to be your friend? Why? Don't none of my friends stay with me?
Right.
My friends got their own shit. And guess what? I go over their house, they come over my house. So when you get like that, then I'll be your damn friend.
Absolutely.
But
social media has changed the trajectory of all this stuff right now. And social activism has also changed it as well. I know, my mother used to tell me and my brother, love all but trust few, learn to paddle your own canoe. And so for the life of me, we never understood what that meant at the time she said it, but we truly grasped it when my mother passed away at 47 years old, and that was 24 years ago. And we was in the Inglewood, so she raising two boys in Inglewood, and neither one of my brothers are firemen now. I've been working with the Chicago Park District for 24 years. So some of the punishment that we used to get, the switches, the stitching cords, all that stuff, I was like, man, our mother is the worst. But she did that because we was the worst kids. We did a lot of stuff that we weren't supposed to do. But the reality is, absolutely. So
these mothers,
go ahead.
These mothers now don't understand. Our mothers made us stand up and be men from a woman's point of view. If your father was
right.
My mother told me a lot. She said, I didn't raise you. I couldn't raise you to be a man. I could raise you to respect stuff, respect women, respect life, this, that, and other. But I had uncles and my father was in my life. I had uncles and my father was in my life a lot. And she was like, it's a lot of these mothers I had now talking about their son is a king. This my thing. We all come from black kings. We all come from royalty. But you ain't no king if you ain't, first off, your mom ain't no queen. Your mom ain't no, all black women ain't queens. They got a queen persona, they can be, but you have to carry yourself a certain way. And then on top of that, they say all black women are kings, all black men are kings. No, all black women are queens, all black men are kings. Who in the damn village then?
Right.
Ain't no village. You mean we got a whole village of kings and queens? This shit ain't finna be right. It's a whole order of life. It's the order of life. And I'm not talking about race-wise. I'm talking about it's the order of people. There's people that work. There's people that don't work. There's
absolutely.
Get a government is getting government assistance. And I'm not knocking nobody to get government assistance. This is my thing. You're supposed to get government assistance so you can get on your feet and get your own. You ain't supposed to make no whole long life. You got grandmothers and great grandmothers that done told their daughters and told their sisters how to go out there and get a check.
Right.
Instead of telling them to go stand on their own and get a damn job.
Or start their own business.
Yeah, that's one of the main things. Start your own business. If my great grandmother didn't work at this can place, my grandfather forever. But my great grandfather and grandmother told me, he said, if I knew what I know now, I'd own my own damn can company. I own my own place. And a lot of black people don't even understand how many businesses black people had.
Yeah.
How many we owned, how many it's still some of the old black dollar being spent but we ain't seeing it.
Right.
Because of the masses of people want to spend somewhere else. I got my T-shirt. It's just for example, my T-shirt on my website, $20. It's $20 even if you see me if I got it. Motherfucker told me, man, $20 for a T-shirt. And I looked to see what he had on. I said, you got a Nike shirt on, dude. I don't care where you got it. You might have got it from clearance at Marshall or something. That mug cost $20 when it really came out.
Right.
You didn't pay $20 for a T-shirt. You didn't pay $20. I said, but it's a problem, but you paying it for me. First off, I don't even know this dude, so he couldn't come to me with that, man, come on, man, it's me. No,
right. Well, we shouldn't be doing that anyway. If you're in business and you're doing something, hey, you're doing something to support, the other person. So you shouldn't be trying to get no discounts or play on something.
You're buying something that's of quality. You're not buying something that's garbage. Because I don't want to sell none of my people no garbage.
Right.
If I go pay for the materials, the only thing me as a black business, I'm not gonna charge you what they would charge me. Because exactly. I'm trying to look for the masses of y'all to come and shop with me. So that ain't even a problem no more. Because
right. And then it's just like business 101. It costs more money to retain the business to get new business than to retain the business that you currently have. If you got repeat customers, that's where you're going to get your bread from. Trying to get new people, they're going to be your word. They're going to be your mouth and tell you, oh, I got this from this person and refer you. And if you don't have a good product, then, hey, you just going to be lost out.
Yeah, lost all the way out. I look at a lot of things, the way things are going now, and I'm like, damn.
So just like somebody has generational wealth, that's something that we should be having. We should be able to leave something for our children. And then they're supposed to leave it for their children's children.
Emerald Green is in the business. She is doing a lot of things now to guide and teach her sons about general wealth and about being a man from a woman's point of view. Women know what they want. They know what they want. Be protected. I really do agree that women cannot raise boys, but if that's all that they got,
right?
That's all that they got. Some of it is going to continue to fall on the boy when he gets to a certain age. Yeah, you got to let him know. You got to get
absolutely, but it wasn't in the grand scheme of things. It just was not meant that way. If you are a believer, in the beginning, God created heavens and the earth. And what he did was he created a man in his image. And then he took the rib of a man and made woman as the helpmate to man. So the woman is supposed to be the helpmate. So unfortunately, when you don't have the man in the household, she's left to do what she can do under the circumstance. And so when you say, oh, she can't raise a boy to a man, you're right, she can't, but she can give the principles, she can lay some of the groundwork and the foundation of what is right and what is wrong. And so that's where Journey to Manhood comes in, is that I want to make sure that young men understand that you have a purpose in life. And we are probably one of the reasons why we have all this violence in our community is because there's no men at home. 90% of the people that come into the park district facilities with their kids for after school programs, basketball, swimming, it's women. The women are bringing them in. I very seldom see men come in with their kids. And if I have to go and check the emergency forms and try to contact somebody, it's always a grandma, or auntie, or another woman that I have to contact. And I'm like, well, damn, where all the men at?
Right. But you know what? I'm gonna tell you something. It's a lot of bitterness that was instilled in our women 3 or maybe 4 generations back. And it is spilled over to these young women today. You see young women out here now that think it's cute to have an attitude. They think that that's cute. A man gonna like them because they got an attitude. I'm real mean and bye. Nobody wants you. Who want to be around your unpleasant ass? I want some pleasantry in my life. This world is already unpleasant. Now I got to come on because you talking out the side of your neck or you talk crazy. But that's a lot of young women and a lot of other women. They feel, and they probably right, but they feel that what they got is worth more than it is now. Because I got a joke that I'm working on, but it's the reality of the difference between women now and the women that we know. Every woman wants something that her grandmother had or her mother had. They want that type of man. That type of man, you don't deserve that type of man if you ain't that type of woman that your mother and your grandmother were.
Or are you prepared to receive him when he comes?
Yes. Are you really prepared? And the thing of it is, a lot of them are in disbelief first because they haven't seen those type of men. So they seen these dudes lying, and when the dudes that are lying come up, they figure, oh, he lying like old boy did. You know, he lying. He ain't really who he say he is. But if he's showing who he say he is, I don't think that he should be the person that has to walk on glass because of these last. Because these last dudes that messed up. I'm not going to make that up.
Right.
I don't got nothing to do with it. That's not my problem. That's your problem. First off, you made these bad decisions on accept.
Oh, absolutely. You know, Michael Jackson said it best. You got to start with the man in the mirror. You know, you saw the red flags. You chose to deal with it, and so you got to suffer the consequences of your actions. You know, I one of the things I tell women all the time is that, you know, a man chooses the woman has to prepare herself to be chosen. And in preparing yourself, you the one have to identify, am I a man of substance as well as stature? So you will look at me and say, okay, yeah, he's 6'5", he big, he tall, but that's stature. Is there some substance to that? And so once you discover if that person has substance or not, that's when you're supposed to proceed. If not, keep it moving.
Right. My man Jerome said, the hurt that's been planted in our neighborhood is now in full harvest. He ain't lying.
Exactly.
Emerald Green says, heal yourself. She says, he enjoys my blackberry cobbler. Shut your ass up, girl. One thing that we're going to agree upon is the only way I think we can agree upon is the only way that stuff is going to change. People have to change their households tremendously.
Oh, absolutely. That's the foundation of everything.
But from the household, it has to change to the family. Prime example. Say like I got a son. My son out here running rampant. He doing all this. I done found guns in the house. I done found him doing. I done been on social media, see him doing this, that. Hey, you wild. You too wild. You gonna get these other kids killed. You gonna have to get the fuck out. You have to get your shit together. I put him out. Then my sister, his aunt, she takes him in. Now this problem is shifted to her house.
Yep.
My thing of it is everybody has to be a full net. You have to be a full net. Like they say, it takes a village to raise a child.
Oh, absolutely.
His family got to stick together and be like, hey, man, now somebody can come out and do all of the talking to him to see if it'll change. But when it comes to me and my life, and I've given you the right tools to live with, I've given you the right tools to be the right type of person with, and you just refuse that, you want to go out here and mess around with this mess, and you're an endangerment to us, you got to go.
You got to go.
You got to go. I love you. I don't wish none of this for you, but you got to go.
Yeah. Because if you don't cut the umbilical cord, that's another problem too. You know, most women in particular sometimes don't cut the umbilical cord with their kids. You know, it's like I meet women sometimes and they'll be like, oh, I'm having a date night with my son. I'm like, date night? Yeah. I'm like, what? A date night? No. Or he ain't taking the garbage out. Oh, I do that. You still washing his clothes. I'm like, sweetheart, you're an enabler. But that's what you're doing. You're being an enabler. And so now he's going to be looking for women to take care of him as well, just like the mama do.
Worse than that kid that's even wild and out here doing shit is the one that ain't doing nothing at all. Just sitting in the room,
smoking weed and playing video games.
He ain't just doing anything, put in the room, doing anything that he can to hide that he ain't doing shit. Right. I don't do nothing. I don't even eat in here. I don't even do. Get the fuck out, man. I'm not paying bills for you to be in here being a homeless hider. You homeless, but you just hiding in my home.
Right.
Get your ass together, man. Let me see what my man said. He said the women in my family has not allowed me to help with their son. I have 2 great sons, 7 nephews and all out of the system. Thanks to my sisters. Good shit for you, brother.
Yeah.
Okay, you deal with that man in the mirror. Somebody. Oh, hey, what's up, Lady Alicia? What's happening?
Hey there.
But I'm gonna tell you, man. I'm glad you came on the show today, man. What's short distance? Explain to them again about your business before we get on about here, man.
Okay, so like I said, it's a non-for-profit organization. It does mentoring, health and wellness, financial literacy, giving back to the community, toy drives, sock drives, school supply giveaways, job training, job placement. Those are the things that I do with the organization. I also have a contract with CPS that offer jobs for 18 and over, well, I should say 21 and over, for safe passage through CPS. And right now we don't have a contract because there's no school right now. But some of the safe passage workers are still working, doing this contract tracing and also going out in the community, trying to get people to sign up for the free internet access for CPS students.
Right. Man, I'm glad you're doing it. Is it a website or something they can go to find you?
Yeah, you can. I have a Facebook page they can check out. It's called Journey to Manhood. Then also they can come to my Facebook page. A lot of times I post stuff there. Rahim Imani, Rahim Imani, Ani. Rahim means merciful one, and Imani means having faith.
All right. Well, man, I'm glad and I'm grateful for you doing what you're doing for the community, man. If I can help you in any type of way, just hit me. Let me know whether it's doing something. I'm in town. I come do something, speak on some stuff, or
Okay.
post it. It don't matter. Let me know, man. I'm down with
Will
the
do.
You need to get these
Well,
kids.
I appreciate the reach out. Appreciate being on. Hopefully we can have another conversation again.
Okay, for sure. Al, tell us. My man Al, I have a non-for-profit. How do I get in contact with CPS?
Right. So what you can do is you can just either shoot me an email at journeytomanhood@yahoo.com. I can put you in line with the other agencies that offer this a subcontract through another organization. So I can put you in line with them.
All
or
right.
you can also give me a call at 773-851-3196.
Say it one more time because Al be slow as hell.
773-851-3196.
Yeah, get up with him, Al. So we can get that thing off the ground, baby. But hey, man, I'm glad you came through today, man. I don't know if you're interested in it. I got an offer that I'm giving everybody. It's free, bunch of movies free. It's called WeWatchTV.net. WeWatchTV.net is a black-owned thing. It works with Fire Stick, Android box, computer, and all that. WeWatchTV.net. You go in there and you use the promo code, type in Baldhead, capital letters Baldhead. It is usually $30 a month. With that promo code, it's $20 a month. And that way you shouldn't be paying for cable no more. You just be paying for your Wi-Fi. And then you get it. Hey, that's a nice price. It's a nice price. And you get to see everything. It's 4,000 movies on there. Crazy, man. Go check it out. Everybody.
Okay, will do.
If y'all on here today, make sure y'all follow my man. Share this live also because everybody needs this type of information. Here at Baldhead'S Podcast, everybody's opinion matters. Shout out to my guest, my girl Treese today. She had to jet out and do what she had to do. Y'all give it up for this brother, Robert. He is doing something great and real good for the neighborhood. Journey to Men is going to be a big thing. All y'all got to do is support it. It's a black man. Right? Y'all see his face, so go and support it. Hey, man, I'm going to holler at you, man. Thanks a lot, brother.
All right, brother. Be safe.
All right, now. All right, now. Thank y'all for tuning in today to Baldhead'S Podcast. This is the 5th season. That's right. I've been doing this for 5 years. And if you can, I need your support. You can support me in a few ways. You can support me by just sharing this. You can also support if you're not on my YouTube page. Go to my YouTube page, Baldhead'S Podcast. Baldhead, BALDHEAD''S Podcast. Hit the subscribe button. With the subscribe button, also you can hit the notification bell so you know when we're going live. I got different guests that come on every week. This last time y'all gonna see this wall like this, the wall is going to be decorated. It's going to be decorated. I know it's decorated, but I like decorated. It sounds funny. The wall gonna be decorated. It's gonna be a couple of other things going on. I got some great guests coming to these next 2 shows. And it's all my shows now is gonna be about relationships, self-help, helping people, financial wealth, doing shit. And it's gonna be funny shit going on. Yeah, it's gonna be funny shit going on. So make sure y'all subscribe to my podcast page on YouTube, Baldhead'S Podcast. If you're on iTunes or Spotify, Baldhead'S Podcast is on iTunes or Spotify. So you can listen. Yeah, so you can hear, check me out. What else I gotta tell y'all? Probably pretty much enough. Just donate to the podcast. The Cash App donation go to Baldhead Phillips. Baldhead Phillips on Cash App. If it's Zelle, you can use my email, bishop6116@gmail. Bishop6116@gmail. All donations for Baldhead'S Podcast go to the embedment and also go for promoting the podcast. Thank y'all very much. And as I sign off, I tell y'all, share the live, share the wealth, share the information. Peace out. Y'all pray for me. I pray for y'all.